On the spot, at the spot.
The spot, SoDo.
With the big homie Nick, we at the spot.
SoDo.
We at the spot, SoDo.
Spot SoDo.
On the spot, at the spot, SoDo, Seattle.
Man, pull out your blunt, grab your drink, get your notepad. Cause it's a lot of game. Man, we at the spot, on this spot, man. You know what I'm saying? We right back, man. You know what I mean? I mean, shit, I know we done took 2 pauses in this, but by the time we edit it, man, it's gonna look all lovely, though.
Shout out me.
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Rob Nova, man, Mr. MacGyver, man, you know what I mean? I take up his fucking weekends and shit, man, but it's all love, man, you feel me? And besides, man, he gotta get paid, shit, so I gotta pay him today. I just thought about it, it's Friday. Shit. But nah, man, you know what I mean? Man, it's another great episode and everything, man. We just gonna jump back on what we was talking about, man, but you know, I got 2 motherfuckers with me now. Y'all go ahead and say, man, you know what I'm saying, from my left, man, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and yell out who you are, let them know.
What's happening? It's Dope Networks, you know what I mean? Dope_networks on the ground. You know, if you on there, tap in, Underground King.
On YouTube, Dwann B, DWANNB. Instagram, Dwann B, Twitter, Dwann B, IncenseandAshtrays.com for the music history. And Kraig Facts, dopest show on the internet. Well, the second dopest of this motherfucker.
Good looking. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, everybody. It's Kendra from Queening with Kendra, from The Spot, from Banks Management. You guys can check me out at queening_with_Kendra and at The Spot every day.
Man, and go like, comment, and subscribe, man. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be another great episode, man, for you to really check out. But run with us, though, because we was already, man, mid-conversation already enlightened enough. You know, it's crazy how we brought all the motherfucking Nazi scientists over to the motherfucking America and shit and gave them NASA.
Operation Paperclip, 1,600 Nazi scientists. That's why, like, we was talking about R. Kelly earlier, you know what I mean? I was like, people, like, they say cancel R. Kelly. They want to cancel a black person. Well, what about all these Nazis that invented Hewlett Packard? Them motherfuckers was Nazis. The jet engine, we got that from the Nazis. The freeway system, that came from the Nazis. America got all this innovation from the Nazis. Orange County, populated by the Nazis. The Palisades, populated by the Nazis. Do you know that there was a Nazi camp that was in the Pacific Palisades during World War II that was active and they were training? The camp is still up there, but if you take your black ass up there, somebody's going to come and meet you at the gate. It's still there in the Pacific Palisades. And they had an active Nazi camp that was going on during World War II, and this country want to act like they wasn't down with them. Henry Ford had plans, like, it was a story I saw from an Oliver Stone documentary. It was like he basically called them like, hey, you bombing too close to my plant. Back up.
And they're supposed to not just bomb
Heinrich
them.
Ford was a, And it's this incestuous relationship between the United States and them. They would be trying to act like they all good and shit. It's so much shit that this country got from them motherfuckers, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I'm keeping the jet engine. I got here in 2.5 hours. That should have been a 24-hour drive.
Well, fast.
Hitting on Ford, man, you know what I'm saying? You know, they say, man, you know, Ford got the concept of the plant from
George Washington Carver.
George Washington Carver, man.
People don't understand how important that brain was. Like, because Ford didn't invent the car, the Duray brothers did, two black people. Ford is the first one to mass produce cars, the Model T. But our brother George, George Washington Carver was like his ace in the hole. He needs something new. Like, same thing during World War II. The United States was about to lose the war because Germany had cut down all the rubber manufacturing plants in Europe. So George Washington Carver invents this thing called soy. And that we use in soybean, invents this thing called plastic. And, you know, plastic comes from George Washington Carver, which also was an additive to rubber that they used since the United States couldn't get genuine rubber. George Washington Carver just invented something out of thin air to replace the rubber, you know, for tires.
The compound.
Yeah, he studied the plant and then came up with the power plant and also the assembly line. He said he got the assembly line from just reading the plant and how a plant distributed its resources. He said the plant talked to me. And then out of nowhere came up with the assembly line,
That's crazy.
which made Ford the first mass-produced car on the planet.
But tell him what they did to him as a kid.
Castrated him. Yeah. George Washington Carver used to talk
You
like
heard the
this.
voice? Did you hear the voice? I heard the recording before and just was hurt.
Yeah.
High ass, what do they call them fucking singers?
Sopranos.
Sopranos
What?
and shit. Yeah, they cut him, man. They chopped him out. He grew up, he was amongst
That's
a
crazy.
Caucasian family and shit, man. So they cut his nuts so he couldn't have sex.
With their daughter.
And the motherfucker talk with a high-pitched voice, man. And
Think
they,
about how mean kids are having to be a 10-year-old kid with a high-pitched voice. All the jokes that came his way.
you know what it meant? You know what's cold about that? It was like they thought he was gay, and he would rather them think he was gay than tell them the truth of what was wrong with him.
That's real deep. And this man
Sad.
invented so many things that made America what it is. People act like America's a superpower because it's not the military. That's all these countries got militaries. It was the inventions and the genius that we created that, what made the United States go ahead and get more economically powerful than England was the cotton gin. Whereas before the cotton gin, you can produce 100. These aren't exact numbers; these are just examples, people. You could produce before you could produce 100 pounds of cotton a day.
Yeah.
With this new cotton gin, now I can produce 5,000 pounds of cotton a day. That's how much the cotton gin meant to the United States of America. That's why the United States, because people always wanted to just assume the United States just magically became the biggest economy in the world. No, it happened because of certain inventions. And the majority of those inventions, 80-90% of them was invented by us. And those inventions is what pushed us ahead of other countries. The power, if everybody making cars, but I got this cat named George Washington Carver who can give me an assembly line out of thin air. Now, if for every 2 cars you produce, I'm producing 1,000. Who's gonna win economically? I'm gonna win, but that you never would have got that win if a black mind didn't invent the thing that gave you that win. We invented the light. Lewis Latimer invented the light bulb, so now I can work 24 hours a day. I ain't got to stop at night.
No.
We need to go back to like glamorizing inventors and smart men and just not even men but just men and women. Everybody wants to be an entertainer now.
What?
But we need to glamorize, we need to have the rappers. They need to rap about inventing stuff instead of killing somebody or sliding on somebody or making the drug game or whatever look glamorous. Like that's what really more light needs to be shined on that, because really we are so smart, and like now when kids are so smart and they want to invent something, a lot of time they're getting made fun of because it's not the popular thing to do.
We don't push our kids that way. I always say this. Granville T. Woods is a person that invented the telegraph, which ended up becoming a fax machine, the control switch, which ended up becoming the roller coaster. He was 7 feet tall. I always say this. If Granville T. Woods was raised today, we'd be telling him to work on his free throws.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's where we miss it. And I love sports, but we got so many kids we pushing towards sports, and we could keep the sports things too. But, I mean, think about it. Granville T. Woods was one of the greatest minds ever, and he was 7 feet tall. You know what I mean? 7 feet tall, and he's the reason why we got the fax machine. And so, again, another reason why the United States went ahead of other countries economically. When you can communicate with each other this fast without having to send put a bottle in the Fox and say, "Hey, go." And other countries still sending out Fido with a message in the bottle. This black man is invented a fax machine, but we never would have got that if it was today. Because today we'd be telling them to play basketball.
And imagine if we didn't have everybody, at one point it made a switch to where, everybody wanted to be an entertainer. But imagine what the world would be if we had always just been pushing young people to keep on inventing new things.
You know what I was going to say is we do have those inventors in the penitentiary.
True.
If you see the living or the ideas or the genius ideas that we may take for granted for the small shit that we're able to do that an individual will figure out. So for an individual to act out, and which you being in child psychology, man, a lot of times that acting out is because the motherfucker, man, what can you teach a mother that already knows?
Too smart.
These kids Man, I'm gonna tell you something. We have a IEP epidemic going on in this country. They getting black kids and they putting them in special education left and right. And I'm telling you right now, 8 out of 10 of those kids in special education, they not only belong in regular education, most of them belong in advanced placement.
Yes.
Their minds is already going, and this school is boring. They understand this, but why do I gotta sit here?
Right.
Like the way school is now. The whole format of schools came out in the late 1800s. Now those are basically the first jobs that white women got, and they had to make the job easy for them. These are your teachers. So sit down and watch. That's not how humans naturally learn. And the reason why girls can do it better than boys, because girls are a little more advanced. A girl can actually, even though a girl learns better being interactive, her mind can still passively sit back and watch. A boy got to touch it. A boy got to knock that shit down and pick it back up. A boy got to break it and put it back together. That's how we do it.
So we
but if you don't get that boy a chance to break some shit, and he's got to sit down and watch all day, after a while,
Damn,
I think, your child, and they'll say, come here, Miss Smith. Yeah, your child is not sitting down. They're not paying attention in class. So, we want to test him to see if he's okay. Then he'll test and he'll pass the test. But then they'll be like, but he's still not acting and performing. So we're going to put him under other health impairments and we're going to put him in special education.
That's when they bring in that medication too.
That's the second
That's
step.
it.
And then they want to send somebody to the home and go check it out.
There it is. There. Yeah.
And so what's happening? Your kids are being discouraged now. They're in these schools and they're giving homework packets. They're not doing anything to stimulate their mind. But they have on the boards. You can go to UCLA. You can go to Harvard. No, they probably can be a great iron worker. Probably can be a great. At least let's set the vision where somebody can make some money. You're not giving even though this kid is smart enough to go to Harvard. You're not giving him the education it would take to get to Harvard.
Well, I think even with that point, I think people has put materialistic money over value. I remember years ago, I was getting ready to buy stock in Tesla when it was cheap. My homie was like, nah, don't buy that. I'm like, nigga, why? Everybody else getting money. He was like, bro, they trying to come out with these trucks that can follow each other. You know what I'm saying? If they do that, they get rid of truckers, man. My nigga, I got 2 felonies. I got my own trucking business, man. I eat off of this. As soon as you said, man, I didn't buy the stock. Just because, and I'm like, damn, it makes sense.
And they got them trucks out there now on the road.
Real shit. Next 10 years.
Moving. Yeah.
Next 10 years for sure they was talking
that's
about
what, man, that's what I'm saying. This was back when Tesla had what was coming on and he was telling me. Now it's like, man, you know what I mean? That's why we say, man, that whole freeze up, man, that whole country freeze up. They just sat back and I wonder, if everything turns AI, can we still run this country?
Yeah.
What's gonna be? And that's what I'm when people ask me, like, hey, even youngsters, they be like, man, what do you think I should do, man? What do you think I should go into? I just be truthful with them. Like, hey, look at what was open during the pandemic. And that's what I would suggest to you that you need to invest in or go take your life towards.
Look at what they're doing at the port in L.A. And the Port of L.A. and the Port of Long Beach are right next to each other.
Come on.
Port of L.A., you still got longshoremen. People know Port of Long Beach, all automated. You got one person just watching. They got the little train that moves the containers to the automatic lift that moves it. And people who I know are truckers, they like the Long Beach port. You in and out.
Yeah.
L.A. port, where they still got the longshoremen, it's a lot slower. Yeah. So what happens when things move slow? At some point, people are like, well, at first you're like, no, we want people to keep jobs. Yeah. But when things start moving too slow, again, going back to that, when they slowed the port down, well, they're like, okay, why? People don't like waiting.
But sorry, go ahead.
At some point, you get the people that go against the people who are now backing it.
Yeah.
Now they are against it because they want they shit now.
Yeah, and it's really not. It's not even an issue of it being slow. It's that we live in an instant world. Everything is instant. You can get anything that you want right now, for the most part.
Yeah, and so like LA decided like 3 years ago they had a 10-year contract with the port. But for you, my brothers out there who are longshoremen, start looking at other skills right now. because this Long Beach port is looking real good being automated. So that's just a beta test. What starts here ends up everywhere else.
What's up?
So if we here in Seattle right now, I know y'all got some shipping stuff up there. You brothers that got them jobs start. You know my recommendation to people. It's a whole industry that's opened up, and I tell people to look into it all the time. If you don't know where you want to go, cyber security.
Yeah,
you can go to school for 6 months. And then start out in 6 months from now making $85,000 a year.
Yeah. You know what's another cold one that we all know how to do? Coding.
Coding, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we know how to. We all know how to do it, right? Yeah. Oh, but man, that shit MySpace.
Yeah.
When motherfucker was building MySpace, that's all fucking coding is.
Yeah,
it's just that's all it is.
Yeah.
Here's the cool part about it. Microsoft it was a quiet announcement. Microsoft said that they're looking for 240,000 new cybersecurity people in the next 4 years. Google, all the different Cisco systems. So you have literally millions of jobs that opening.
True.
Here's the cool part about it. They put their programs in junior colleges nationwide. So you don't have to go to 4-year expensive school. Now you could just go to a junior college and then El Camino. Every certificate only takes 6 months. So you can start with cybersecurity, then you can go get another certificate in coding and get a whole nother bag. Then you get a whole another 6 months. Now you learn app development, whole nother bag. You don't even need to go to college degree. Like I said, for you young people out there watching, you 17, 18, don't know what you want to do, get that. Stack 80, 90,000 a year starting off, and then from there figure out where you want to go. But that's a good start for people out there who don't know what they want to do. That's something that's going to be around for at least the next 20 years.
At least.
I was also peeping like a data analyst. You know what I mean? That's something else you could get into. You can even take that through Google. I mean, it's I think we paid through Google or Amazon, but it's like a little 6-month course, like you were saying. But just basically just reading data. You know what I mean? That's all it is, and reading stats, and then reporting it to the companies. You know what I mean? So that's another one. You know what I mean? That you can get into. So.
Just easy bread, man. But it's just like, man, why we not man? But what's being marketed is just what's being marketed. Like I look at it, man. Because I look at the entertainment business. It's the entertainment business. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like I look at that when these rappers even sign contracts that they sign. It's like, hey, I mean,
at 360, man.
I would advise you. But if you choose, if money is so great that you need that right now, you know what I'm saying? I mean, man, you know what I'm saying, man. I got my partner Doughboy, man. That's his expertise, man.
For sure.
You feel me?
For sure. I'm more like on the underground route. So my whole thing is I don't really think about the big labels. Like we just getting it out the mud, taking our bread, investing it in the craft. You know what I mean? So me, if I'm if I'm gonna say something, I would say just figure out a way to get you some bread. And if music is your thing, have you some money to invest in there. You know what I mean? And do it yourself. Like, not trying to, knock the big labels. Like, if that's your route, then do it. It's cool. But, the underground route is good. You know what I mean? Especially once you solidify your base. Like, I know cats making, $350,000, $400,000 a year. You know what I mean? Putting out 2 or 3 projects. Vinyls, merch. You know what I mean? Once you figure out and get your niche base, you could win.
Man, tell them some of the people you worked with, man.
Yeah, well,
if you allowed to.
Oh, of course. Well, Jay Worthy, of course, our partner. You know what I mean? I just did a project with the Outlaws, the One Nation project that Tupac was putting together before he passed. I was blessed to be able to pick that up with them, and we put our own spin on it, but it's the same concept that he was doing. So the Outlaws, Conway the Machine. That's some of the newer cats. Well, they older, but newer cats. My boy Westside Gun, Big Y. Damn, I'm trying to think of the whole list. I got an artist that I'm working with right now named TF. You know what I mean? We building him up right now, but he comes from up under Schoolboy Q. Cat I met in the pen, but he got his rise off of Schoolboy Q. Trying to think who else, man. It's been a whole list. Planet Asia. Rock Marcy, Larry June. I'm trying to think about the project. Let me see. It's a whole bunch, man. You know what I mean? A lot of cats you may have heard of, a lot of cats you may not have heard of, but you know, it's been a slew of artists I done work with.
Man, so where you up out of, man?
No, I'm from Inglewood, man. Inglewood, California.
I know I had to throw that quick one in there.
The city of champs.
Man, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and, you know, man, we go back. Where your peoples come up out of? Where your peoples come from?
Well, as far as we just taking it back to moms and G-moms and all them. My whole family rooted from, mom's side is from Texas, from Hooks, Texas.
Okay.
And then pop's side is from Alabama.
Okay.
So we all, you know, rooted from the South. And then as far as my mom's side, they moved to Venice, like in the 60s.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then pop's side, I think it was like over there off of Ordaf, you know what I mean? You know, where they put the 105 freeway at. And then when they bought a house over there, like in the early, maybe 60s, 70s. Then my G-mom stayed in Inglewood, too, off of 75th and Crenshaw back then, too. So a lot of my family, majority of my family came from the South, so that's where the roots is from.
Yeah. So, you know what I mean? So, man, you know, coming up, man, you feel me? You know, you do what you do. It is what it is. You know, not to touch on bases of that, man. You know, you had said the penitentiary, man. You know what I mean? What's your first thought, mind, man, when you after them white folk, man? You know what I mean? Gave you that time.
Well, man, I'm a kind of flip the narrative, man, because I think it helped me. You know what I mean? Not saying like it's slavery for sure. Don't, you know, I'm not putting no light on it, but at the same time, I just went in there with the mind state of, man, I got to make the proper adjustments, man, because I did 13 years straight. So, you know, I already knew, you know, I went in at 21, 22 years old. So, you know, when I was, you know, I took the deal, went to jail, or went to prison, I knew I was coming out at 35. So my mind state was, man, I need to figure something out in here, you know, that's going to be able to, when I get out, man, I could, you know, be able to run with, you know, and you know, just try to build my life from there. So really, man, I just, you know, me personally, man, I just took the time, you know, just to first get knowledge of self, you know, learn who I am. You know what I mean? As you know, a black man, of course, but as just a human. You know what I mean? At the same time, you know, and as a man. So for the most part, that I could in there. So, you know, I did the work. I did the studying. You know, I did the reading. You know, I did, but going back to what the brother was saying, like learning, like my learning came from talking to older brothers that been in there. You know what I mean? That been in there for years. You know what I mean? Some cats, you know, come from the era where prison was different, where you had to, you know, be structured a certain way.
Yeah.
So those are cats I kind of those are cats I kind of gravitated to get the knowledge. You know what I mean? So, you know, they feed me the books. You know, they feed me the verbal knowledge, the experiences. You know what I mean? So I'm just collecting my whole time up in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that was kind of just my thoughts. So just me, on my personal experience was, you know, it was slavery, man. It was bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I went through a lot of bullshit that even I'm dealing with today. You know, it's a mental thing attached to that too. Like they whoop you in there. You know what I mean? They try to whoop you in there. So it's a lot of shit that you might not just get rid of as soon as you get out. Like it take time to, you know, overcome that shit. But you know, you got to overcome. But you know, for me, man, I just kind of just took it as a university. Like I had one homie in there from the homie Papa from Skyline. Like he said, man, you know, he said this cell is my gym in the morning. You know what I mean? Then it's my university for the rest of the day. You know what I mean? So, you know, that just stuck with me through. 'Cause I got that early, like when I first hit Calipac, 2006. Like that's one of the first homies that you know I would talk to. So when he told me that, I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. So that was my shit. I get up 6 a.m, drink my coffee, turn on shit. That's when I was in Calipac. So we get a Good Day LA. So I'm still tuning in to what's going on.
Yeah.
But shit, I'm doing burpees. You know what I mean? Doing push-ups. You know, after I do all that, you know, whatever's going on, we might be on lockdown. I got a bird bath. You know what I mean? So I do all that, and then I'm right to the books. You know what I mean?
Hey, Kendra, you know what a bird bath is?
I
I think so.
What is it?
It's in that sink.
Wash off.
Yeah. Ever took a bird bath before? Like back in the day, man, when grandma would just come with the rag and spot check you real quick and send you on your way to school.
You're going to get in that bed, too.
Man.
Your face all hard.
Yes. Why was it always so hard?
And man, the sink, man. Man, so you know what I mean? What mindset, man? You know what I mean? Because everything, you know, first off, man, you know, I want to send my flowers out to this brother, man, because he's inspirational for me.
Thank you, brother.
You know, he's inspirational, man, for a lot of people, man. You know, we just sit back. I be like, God damn, this motherfucker got everybody. I swear to God. I don't, you know, because at the end of it all, because we all from in the same section. We all up out of Inglewood and everything, but there's no bothering us. Like, you know what I mean? He got his lane. He doing his thing. Right. And I know I can be, hey, yeah, look, nah, man, when everything ready and everything is in place, everything's in place. But, man, you know what I mean? This is one thing I don't, a lot of cats don't understand. It don't be their time. And it's like, man, you come, you slow down somebody's movement, man, because they moving already, and they hear you coming and they vouch for you, then they looking bad because you really wasn't ready.
Yeah, it's entertainment thing. It really take, you be thinking you ready at first.
Yeah.
But you really got to sit through it. You know, you got to go through a few years and reinvent yourself sometimes.
True.
And you may reinvent yourself 3 or 4 times.
True.
Man.
Before the people done see you. You know what I mean? Do you mind if I ask them a question?
Man, come on, family. Yeah.
Like, for me, you inspired me because you independent. And to have the courage to be independent in, you know, in an environment when people just want to throw you upfront bags, you know.
True.
Like, what gave you, like, and then now seeing you went through the prison process, and prison is formatted to break you.
Right.
What gave you the confidence to bet on yourself the way you did, man?
Well, first of all, man, you know, sitting in there, like, man, I had kids before I went in, so that was kind of, you know, that was one of the strong factors of, like, damn, you know. Then my pops did a bunch of time in prison, so, you know, I'm looking at those factors, so it was like, damn, man, it's just gonna be like my story, you know what I mean? Like, am I just gonna be like, oh, man, this nigga was in and out of prison, you know, barely in my life, you know what I mean? And then, you know, that stat, and they, you know, they fuck up and blame, you know, they blame they shit on me.
Yeah,
that's just my
yeah.
thinking, you know what I mean? Because not saying I did that to my pops.
Yeah.
But I was mad, even just speaking on myself, because I was mad at my pops. You know what I mean, for what he did. You know what I mean? So I felt like, damn, nigga, you left. You know what I mean? You left me out here. Mom's, she can't raise no man. You know what I mean? A man got to raise a man. So it was the feelings, like I'm thinking about the feelings I had towards my pops, and I'm like, damn, so now they going to have the same feelings towards me. Mm-hmm. So that was like one of the main factors of me, like, man, I got to figure this shit out in here. I got to, you know, try to, just try to create something that I could bring out to the streets, you know what I mean, and then, you know, hopefully that the world will feel, you know what I mean. Like I said, I don't rap, so it's mostly mine is just thoughts and concepts, you know what I mean, and putting artists together, like I A&R manage and shit like that. So what can I create, you know what I mean, that's gonna have an impact. So I created a project called Broken Cuffs. Mm-hmm. So the meaning of the project is you got to break the cuffs off your mind before you break them off your wrist. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that was my thinking. So once I figured that out, you know, I thought of the name. Then I started writing down artists, not to cut off, you know, not to go on to something else. But that's just the whole shit. But I you know, I came up with the name. I came up with the name in jail. You know what I mean? Came up with the name in the pen. You know what I mean? Then I just started just jotting down artists, and I was, you know, this fast forward to the story, but I made, you know, I made me and Trey D was on the yard together. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? From the east side, so you know, that was one of the first dudes. Once I thought he was already out at that time. So once I thought about it, I called him, like, brother, I got you. So he was like one of the first verses I got. So I held on to that shit probably for like maybe a year before I got the whole album done. But that was kind of like the fuel. Like, okay, I got this, so now I could just build around this shit right here. You know what I mean? But yeah, just to have something, man, just to create something that I could have to get out, man. You know, be able to. As far as just a part of me, it's my story. Hopefully it can motivate and then it's gonna be, it's gonna be the way I want to do it, like the artists I want to work with, and and that's a whole nother story for the process with putting the second, because I did one while I was locked up, and then I did a second one since I've been out. So it was the whole process with that one too. So, but that's it.
Man, so you see, man, you see yourself screenwriting?
I don't know. I never thought about that, man. I never thought about that.
Man, I'm planting the seed, man.
There it is. I never even thought, like, my whole thing is, man, I read a book about niche marketing when I was in the pen. So they said that you got to pick something and then master that, and then everything, So that's kind of like where I'm at. Like once I got out, I kind of, I picked up on a few artists while I was in there, like Currency, Smoke Dizza, the whole Johnny Shipes, and all that stuff that was coming out of New York and New Orleans, and you had Dame Dash with DD 172. So that was kind of like, once I started picking up on what they was doing, I'm like, damn, that's what I want to do, because Dame had artists from everywhere.
Yeah.
In this one spot in New York. This after Rockefeller though, but that's kind of like what I kind of model my business and what I do after. Like, he had a cat from, had Currency from New Orleans just before they was like super big, but he had him, and then he had Smoke Desert, then he had another dude from like Indiana, then he had Mickey Fax from, I think, from Chicago, Detroit. He just had a mesh pot of artists from different spots, but they all vibed on the same type of time. So that's kind of like what I do. That was kind of like the concept of Broken Cups too. Like, I got artists from New Orleans, I got artists from New York, I got artists from LA, Compton, I got artists from Delaware, it's just kind of like a mesh pool of just being able to tap in these different states, and these different vibes, but it still relate to the same thing though.
Better than Clive Davis.
When you get a new artist, like, what is it that, like, how do you know that they got it?
It's just a vibe. Like I said, I'm kind of like in the niche phase of just mastering what I'm on. So, they got to kind of like tap into to what I do. So I just speak on like the artists I got right now. TF, like, this dude is phenomenal. Like, he could do other shit, but when it comes to this, when it comes to this underground shit, he cold. So it's just something that it's something that you feel like, because a lot of the beats that I a lot of producers and a lot of this, it's a lot of sample heavy, a lot of no drums, shit like that. Niggas just rapping over the vinyl loop. That's why I wanted to go to the record store, by the way. But a lot of niggas just rapping over the vinyl loop samples. So it takes like a special artist to find that pocket. You know what I mean? So you'll know when you hear, like, okay, yeah, he got it. He know the pocket.
So what I mean? It's crazy you said that, man. Because that's
I'm gonna turn you on when we leave.
That's crazy, because that's what turned me on to Jay Worthy, London Drugs and shit.
He do that perfect.
On Mamas, and then I'm okay. Larry June, let me see what he talking about.
You know what's so dope about that? Because the book that I'm getting ready to write right now is tying in hip hop to the history of black music going back to 1609. I'm taking hip hop back to the North America in 1609. So many commonalities between the hip hop and jazz and blues.
True.
And everything that happened in jazz happens in hip hop.
True.
From style of dress, like bebop. Bebop came with a style of dress. It came with its own style of dance. It was revolutionary. The old people hated it. You know what I mean? It's just like hip hop.
Yeah.
And what I hear when he's telling me that, because when you're talking about a rapper rapping just over the melody with no drums, now we're going back into into certain levels of jazz. Like, a lot of your great jazz artists, at some point, they would record tracks with no drums. Well, it was just a piano. Like, one of the greatest songs ever is Caravan by Dizzy Gillespie and Oscar Peterson. Just a piano and a trumpet. And another commonality between hip hop and jazz was the collaboration. Miles Davis was with Coltrane. The greatest ever always worked together, just like in hip hop. Duke Ellington did.
That's fire. Collabs.
Yeah, collabs
like they
was
doing
jazz
now.
central.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, Count Basie and Duke Ellington are the two greatest composers of the 1900s, but they had an album together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All of the jazz greats, when you go down the line, they are another great who played another instrument. they always work together, just like in hip hop. So now when I hear hip hop, because I always look at To Pimp a Butterfly by Kendrick, that was an album that was the perfect mesh between jazz and hip hop. There were other styles before Guru, and there were other people who did it. Jazzmatazz. That was looped. But what Kendrick did with jazz, when he brought Kamasi, Terrace Martin, the new class of jazz in.
Yeah.
So you had updated jazz with updated hip hop, and I was like, okay, the grandchild of jazz, hip hop is a grandchild of jazz, and it's like she's like hip hop is returning back to its original archetype.
That's true shit.
And when you talking about them rapping now, just over the melody, that's just another component of where hip hop is returning back to its original archetype, the jazz.
Man,
that's just beautiful.
History
I love to see it.
Yeah. You hit me with something now. Now I get it. It's like it's history. You know what I mean? It's posted like we going back to our roots. When you
it's your soul.
Just like we going back to the South. Same thing with the blues. Like it's just that's what my book is really gonna be about. Just really showing how there's nothing new in hip hop. Is just the newest version of what we've been doing. This is just culture. We like the whole mixing and scratching and sampling. That was a condition. They stopped teaching us music. So if you ain't gonna teach us music, we're gonna turn this turntable into music.
True shit.
We're gonna keep doing music.
Yeah, we're gonna figure it out.
Yeah, we're gonna. Are you not gonna teach me what the A flat is? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like,
right on the table.
You're not gonna teach me how to sing, and what an A flat is. Okay, we just gonna rap then.
Come on.
You mean? But it's still the same music. It's
even think about like the producers like this. Like, man, ain't nobody know how to read music or, you know what I mean? It's just something like they just going in there on the feeling. You know what I mean? Like just something I feel like my brother Polly Rob, that's a cat I've been knowing since I was 13, 14 years old. But he's a producer, so he don't know how to read music or nothing like that. He just going there on the, like, nigga, I hear this. You know what I mean? And then boom, here we go. You know what I mean? We got some shit.
Gotta hit it.
Yeah, that's real.
Music gonna come out because music is it's an expression of what's in you, and you gotta let it out if it's in you.
Man, do you guys ever listen to gospel every once in a while?
Yeah, true.
I don't listen to too much gospel.
I used to like Mary,
Mary. 20 years.
Yeah, I kind of like
them.
I like Mary, but I like the older gospel that G Moms used to play, like Mahalia Jackson.
Yeah.
They be
James
like the newer shit, kind of smarter. Yeah, that shit. Yeah.
I mean, James
organs in the back.
Man, I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me. Boy, so you don't know how many nights I sang that song to myself.
That's
like,
the shit.
Damn, they ready to kill myself right now. Man, that's what I brought that up because I promise you, it be some. Hey, I ain't never sat men long as like that, man. But I know I done sat in just the county, in L.A. County, and
L.A. County, a whole nother story, man. That shit worse than prison.
Man, come on, man. In the 90s, going up in that motherfucker, man, no passes. No passes.
Why is it worse than prison?
Because it's active.
More treacherous. Like, it's prison more structured. Like, once you get to prison, it's like, all right, Bloods over here, Crips over here, Mexicans over here, Whites over here. Don't cross our line. We don't cross your line. You know, it's kind of, and then it's respect. Like, everything is more built on the county jail. Man, niggas in there fresh off the streets, you know what I mean? Niggas is ready to squabble, you know what I mean? So
every time, every chance.
Yeah, so it's more, just more tension because everybody just fresh off the streets, and it's still, gang active in there. Like prison is gang active, but at the same time, it's just more structured. Like if it's going to
men.
Yeah, and it's going to talk first. We going to politic first. Okay, we can't come to an understanding, then boom. You know what I mean? But other, it's just more structured in the pen, but that county jail like the Wild Wild West though.
Man, that shit, boy. Hey, man, look, check it out. That's what I say. Hey, homie, you got 2 fades you gonna have to catch, man. You know what I'm saying? Then after fucking lunch, it's another 2 niggas, man. You know what I mean? They need that, man. I remember it was just fades. Then catch a fade. Man, I must have fucked around with them niggas. Like, hey, homie, you really, really need that? If you need that, nigga, need that. What the fuck are you niggas talking about? Hey, OG, that's what we saying now. Yeah. You need that? That's some fucked up shit to tell. That nigga need to be home, man, with his kids. Not nigga, shit. Man, hey, man, youngsters, man, say I'm gonna give him a free one, man. I got away with, man, my first one OG told me. OG was like, he's like, hey, yeah, youngster, get on you too hard, man. Just bounce up, man. Stick out that chest, be like, man, hey, let him ride, yeah, it's good, nigga, we can get it in, nigga. Or when the sheriff open the door, nigga, we can get it in with him, nigga. He the one got you here. So a lot of times, niggas is gonna turn it down, man, because now they gonna see what you go. He said, but if the niggas say oh, you gonna have to go when they crack open the door. And shit. And like, oh, okay. Just little young tidbit, man. Yeah, that shit, man. LA County, like, oh my God. That shit, man, that's what LA County is what made me move to fucking Seattle. All bullshit to the left.
Nigga ain't trying to go back to that
county. Man, I had like 8 warrants, man, I promise you. And when I got there, it was like, yeah, you got 15 failure to appear. So bail. Yeah. The worst thing is going to jail when you got money and you can't get no bail. Yeah. Like bail, nigga, you had to go to all these courts.
Yeah. Nigga just getting packaged every week. That's all. That's
the state's hustle.
Yeah.
It was just an article that came out in LA Times 2 weeks ago talking about how much the money the state makes, California, off the bail system, off putting people in petty charges, the traffic court.
Yeah.
And they're saying why do people go to county? It costs so much money to send you to county over some tickets. It'd be better just to let the tickets go than to send you to county.
Cite you out right.
It costs the city money to do that, but they do it, and they basically audited the books and was like, it's not even helping stop crime. If you want to stop people from getting fair to peers, if you just send a text message the day before, that'll cut down fair to peers by like 80%.
Damn, that's
but they don't want to do that because it's a hustle.
Right.
$500 every ride on that goose. They're gonna spend that $500.
They're gonna spend that, and all in this just point to mess up your day.
Nigga get you up early in the morning. Nigga be like, huh? Nigga, I ain't supposed to be going to no court. What you talking about? And go to court and go sit there all fucking day.
Ooh, that's the
get
worst.
on the bus and go all the way back.
That's the worst,
then,
man.
Might have to go all the way back through.
That's the worst.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, man, LA County Jail is what made me leave, man, and move to Seattle. Like, I got tired. Like, this is, I'll bullshit you not.
LA County the worst, man. Well, I ain't never been in no other jail system, but
I mean, Illinois,
I just know what I went through
Illinois give you a run for your
bullshit.
money. Chicago, man, you know what I'm saying? Illinois give you a run for your money. Yeah. New Orleans.
Oh, yeah, I heard about
New Orleans is wild on the streets.
Yeah,
New Orleans is
super
shit.
wild on the streets.
Man, for real.
I was on Bourbon Street one time, and some dude was just sitting there in a Mustang.
Yeah.
And somebody just came, walked Bourbon Street, kept walking.
I said, man, that's
Bourbon Janky.
But the worst part about it happened in LA, it'd be a crime scene for a few hours and everything.
Oh, they clearing that up.
Clean it up, man.
20 minutes later,
they back on
doom.
One less. Hey, what they say in Brazil? One less. One less.
We walk past that, going to a little bar to get a hurricane or whatever, come back out. Nigga, like nothing happened.
Yeah, New Orleans cold, man.
Hey, that's, man. Yeah. Kendra, you been to New Orleans?
I haven't. Actually, Dwann and I were just talking about that earlier. We passed
You
by
been in New
this.
Orleans?
Yeah.
We passed by this po' boy truck that they had down there at the waterfront.
Best po' boys out there.
He
man.
was telling me about the drive-through daiquiris.
Yep.
Mouth was watering.
Look, that's crazy. You say the drive-through daiquiris, right? Because we went. This was a few. I've been out there probably about 4 or 5 times. But like this might have been like the 3rd time I was out there. This was out there for Currency. He had a car picnic out there, 2019, the lowrider picnic. So we go out there for that. So we leave that. So we pull up to the spot. I'm thinking it's food. We already faded from the picnic. Like, nah, we getting daiquiris. I'm like, they got drive through daiquiris.
And they hit you too. These ain't no little daiquiri.
No, man, this was a cup. Yeah, that killed me. That's what put me out once I hit that. But I'm just tripping. I'm like, so they encourage you to drink and drive though.
In so many words.
Yeah,
it's against the law to drink and drive, but
you can't drink. But they give you and get you some motherfucking drink.
You gotta take it home. You gotta be responsible. You can hit the drive-through, get to your destination, and then sip it. You know.
That's what they say now since Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
No,
before that,
man.
Uncle Leroy.
And the big ass 32 ounce.
I ain't seen no other spot that had drive-through liquor besides New Orleans.
Man.
No shit like
I grew
that.
up with people. They say I don't drink and drive. I just sip and ride.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Sip and ride, huh? Hey, say my dad, man, that's that. My dad used to ride, man, and be drinking and shit, and then be pissing in hella fucking beer bottles.
I got memories in the mid '80s. My dad would leave in my grandparents' house over on 58th and Broadway, and we stayed on 71st and Western. I remember right when we would get to Gage, my dad would put me in his lap. He had his beer in the can in his Cadillac cup holder, and he put me in his lap and let me. This one I was like 2. And let me steer down Western. I'm going down Western past 67. Like man, our parents did some dangerous shit.
Real shit. Oh, mamas, man. My pops got pulled over though. That nigga did that shit on the freeway.
Oh,
and got pulled over and shit, man. Yeah, my pops was retarded, man. Love you for coming, pops. Man, love you for coming, man.
As dangerous as the things are that they used to do back in the day, the world is still way more dangerous today.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't
Can't
know.
even go to the grocery store.
Yeah, it's dangerous.
Now you man, you can go to the grocery store. Just proceed with caution.
But I'm trying to think because they had drive-by shootings back then, though. So I don't know what's a bullet flying in your random bullet flying in your window while you sleep.
Man, we had so many. I'll be thinking about that. And like I remember next to us, we had this cat that was living in the wrong neighborhood. So our house came casualty fire.
Oh yeah,
drive-bys.
Yeah, for sure.
And I be thinking, I remember as a kid them hitting the wall of the house like, and us, me and my brother waking up and picking the shells up. I be thinking about that like in 88, 89. L.A. was the murder capital of the world, but we was out. Like we wasn't inside. We was nigga.
Hey, could you imagine
outside till the street lights came on?
Could you imagine a man doing shooting drills with your kids now? Cause my grandmother used to do that shit with a bell, so like they get to shoot. Like you grew up when you hear shooting, you just grew up, bam.
Yeah, you
automatically just down.
Yeah.
And that was it. And then you be watching TV.
Earthquakes and shootings. That was
earthquakes and shootings.
That's really how it was.
Earthquake. Grandma be walking. Used to have earthquake fucking days.
Earthquake. Because I remember we sat across from. I knew if Dorsey and Crenshaw had a football game, we knew it was gonna be a shooting that night. You know when we was kids, and then like just on a random Friday and Saturday night, it was always. But at the same time, we were still outside. Like we didn't let that
deter us. Yeah, like man, we finna hang out. Yeah,
we still going to the pool tomorrow. Like, hey,
say you motherfuckers talking about they outside. Hey, we was outside.
outside.
It'll be a shooting at 2:00 in the afternoon. Everybody be inside looking. Then about 2:30.
Yeah, we right back outside.
They ain't about to shoot again. So 21. Let's go.
Hey, you think right now, man, there's still some motherfucking grown ass niggas jacking kids for candy during Halloween?
Damn.
Yes.
It might be though.
Yes.
Yeah, it might be.
With these.
These weird motherfuckers these days, man.
I know I'm not the only victim, man.
But niggas, they want to do it and record it, man, and go viral. Like that's the whole. You know what I mean? So I definitely can see that happening.
We just
man.
robbed some little kids for candy, and we out here.
Outside.
And then we outside.
We outside, nigga.
Man, robbing kids for candy.
Now later's all kind of shit.
Oh, that shit, boy.
Man, cats was burnt for that back in the day.
Hey, I
Cats was really doing that.
Yeah.
But what about the razor blade in the apple?
In the apple,
Yeah, that was crazy too.
Was doing that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Remember
that's
that was always the motherfucking man. That was the don't get no apples, no fruit. They put razor blades.
They used to tell us don't get no Tootsie Rolls. Sometimes they put small ones in there. Look at your. Like,
make sure the pack ain't no.
Hey, we all from LA, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure every city, every place does this. Man, your people tell you about it. Oh yeah, we gonna go trick or treating in the white neighborhood. They give out quarters. For real? I've been looking for that goddamn hood.
That's real,
man. Oh yeah, they give out. You nigga ride off man damn near an hour to get somewhere, man. And shit, these motherfuckers giving out
Beverly
candy.
Hills and all that.
Man. They supposed to give out dollars.
They giving out candy corn. Get that shit out my bag. Candy corn, motherfucker.
Oh fuck. Yeah, they give out quarters and dollars.
They was giving out the king size candy bars though.
Where? Here?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, y'all was
original
winning out.
neighborhood.
Y'all was
Yeah.
winning. We was getting the mini joints.
That's where we
Them
used to
motherfuckers
get
be
the
like that
minis.
small.
Yeah. Now you get the bite size.
Yeah, the bite size.
The whole bag.
Early
That's
80s and shit, man. Early 80s, you might
And
get
they
some
give
old
you
ladies
one in your bag. Here you go.
sugar-free candy. You know what's in the rack. And old crystal thing, man. Here you go, baby.
That
Go
was
ahead and get you two.
G-Miles used to have a whole crystal bowl full of them joints. That shit
Oh,
was
the
fucking them
crystal
over.
bowl, yeah.
Man, with sugarless fucking candy in the middle, man.
A bunch of them.
You've been there for 3-4 years.
Real shit.
Remember when they just had a one that just
stuck
hang out?
together.
Big peppermint and everything, you just come breaking, you try to break it. Like, man.
You got the old lady giving out you some Werther's originals. Like, come on, Miss
shit.
Jackson, I don't want this.
What was your guys' favorite Halloween costume that you wore as a kid?
Damn, I'm trying to remember.
I was. What was mine? I think I
I'm
was.
trying to remember
I
the
was.
best
Oh
one.
yeah, I was Heathcliff one time. I like Heathcliff. I used to want to be Heathcliff when I was a
Hey,
kid.
that was the best cat
Heathcliff
though.
was one of the best cartoons.
That was the best
Because
cat.
Heathcliff used to go outside and start shit. That's what I would do.
Whoop ass.
I would go outside and I would see my friends just I pick up a basketball and just throw it at him. Just do some trifling shit. Just because Heathcliff, man, that was my nigga right
He had
there.
the broad and shit like
Man,
that.
so
Man.
You had Heathcliff, but the other cat though, what was the other one?
Top hat or top cap, the one that was
Garfield.
Oh,
Garfield. Yeah.
Garfield was more
Eating
like
lasagna and
Heathcliff was
shit.
more hood to me. Like that was
Yeah.
the hood cat.
Man,
You know
for
what I mean?
real.
Garfield was like the bougie, sarcastic cat. You know what I mean?
Garfield was
Fucking
having
with the
fun.
dog. Yeah, he on the block.
Yeah,
hanging
Heathcliff
out.
was starting shit and he had his gal.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with his girl, he gonna fuck you up.
Yeah, he gonna cold
He
squabble.
be the dog's ass, he fuck with that little gal. of his.
Oh, mama's real shit.
Heathcliff, man, that's funny.
Oh, Heathcliff one, 1987.
Real shit.
Man, what you remember, Doughboy, man?
Huh?
I said, you remember, man, what was your favorite costume?
Oh man, I'm thinking it was Optimus Prime.
Swear.
I was a cold Transformers fan, so I remember. I think this might have been '88, maybe '89, somewhere around there. Mom's went and got me the Optimus Prime from Newberry's.
Oh, yeah,
Newberry's.
Newberry's.
Oh, 18,
the one.
I see it again.
No, this the one in the brims. The one on what's this? We stayed on Halldale, so this
Are you
was
talking about the one on Slauson
on Vermont.
in Vermont?
The one on Slauson in
Yeah,
Vermont.
with the McDonald's and
yeah,
Kmart.
right there. Kmart was right there. The Newberry's.
That was
Newberry's.
Matter of fact, she got it from Kmart over there. That's what
Okay,
it was. But I remember we
yeah.
passed by it, but she got it from the Kmart over there.
Yep, I remember that one.
Optimus Prime joint. That's when I was going to Budlong Elementary back in the day.
Yep.
Damn, man. Fuck.
That was my one.
Shit. Trying to think, man, because you know what I'm saying? At a certain age, man, we was going to fucking church. And my grandfather was Pentecostal, man, you know what I
into the-
mean?
yeah.
So,
Y'all didn't have Hallelujah night?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta
I
have
was
a
Moses one year. So what we did was I got one of my bed sheets.
Oh my
And I was
goodness.
wrapping my bed sheet around me and I had a staff. And then they were like, okay, Moses, what did the staff do? And I was like, help him walk? I didn't know the motherfucker turned into a snake. They were like, he turned into a snake, Dwann. You don't know the scripture? I'm like, nigga, I just had to stick in the backyard and the sheet on the bed. Nigga, that's costume, nigga.
Oh,
That's
man,
real
fuck.
shit.
Yeah, let me, man. Hey, I remember my first cotton, I was a pirate. My dad's
classic.
girlfriend, man, made me a pirate because, you know what I'm saying? Because we used to love the Raiders
Raiders.
and shit, man. So I was a pirate and stuff like that, man, on mamas.
If anything, your favorite costume should have been last year
Which one?
for Christmas when you dressed
Oh,
up
the
as
Santa
Santa Claus.
I was just a Santa.
My nigga was Black Santa.
Man, on mamas, man. You feel me? That's the James Brown version and the Death Row
Yes.
version. of shit, man.
Real shit.
That version cold.
Man, for real, man, go straight to the ghetto.
Man.
On the real, man, you know what I mean? I was in these ghetto streets of Seattle. I'm just sitting here thinking about that, like, damn, wow. Years go by, man.
I think those were two of the best Christmas songs ever. The James Brown version and the Death Row
And the
version.
Death Row,
Yeah.
yeah,
Death Row, I think
version.
those. I don't like Christmas.
That's a
music for
class.
the
You
most
can't
part.
even.
Them two?
What album was that on though?
The
Which
Death Row
one?
Christmas album.
They had a Christmas album.
Yeah, they had a
I
Christmas
never knew.
album.
That's why I was wondering. I'm like, when the fuck that?
No,
No,
they gave Danny Boy a whole bunch of songs.
that's right.
on that
That's
album.
right. You're right about that. You're right.
Hey,
That was just the one off.
hey, y'all crazy, man.
They had the video off that joint that was on the box.
Motown Christmas, man, is a fucking classic.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Every
the best
granny
one.
and grandma's house you go to.
Jackson,
Yeah.
talking about the Jackson 5. We talking
Yeah,
about like the
the
compilation.
the compilation.
yeah,
and all.
It's crazy
man.
too, cause like that was my father-in-law's breakout with Motown.
Right there.
You know, he produced those. Like he was an arranger with Motown. Like so, a lot of your stuff with the Temptations, he wrote a lot of your string arrangements, a lot of your vocal arrangements. But his first gig with the Jackson 5 was at Jackson. His first time as producer, going from arranger to producer, like he arranged I'll Be There and all that stuff. And
legend,
Dancing
man.
Machine, all that. But his first production gig on Motown was the Motown Christmas. And then so they gave him Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So instead of doing Santa Claus is Coming, he came out with that. That's all some shit that he just wrote.
What's his name? You mind
James Carmichael.
Wow, I gotta look that up.
Shouts out to Mr. Carmichael.
Mr. Carmichael,
man, for real,
greatest
for
producer
real,
ever.
man.
Like,
That's
For real.
classic.
when he was like in his 50s, he just walked away from music.
Wow.
But he, I mean, during that time, like that was his first production gig. After that,
Man, that's legendary.
he went and got
man.
the Commodores after that and just took off.
Whoa,
You
that's
know what I
legendary.
mean? But it started with that Jackson 5 Christmas. You know, all those songs he arranged.
Man, that's still like how legendary it's still played to this day.
To this
And it's,
man.
you know what I mean? Like on Clockwork, Christmas time,
You gonna
that's
hear that.
coming on.
Then
Yeah.
with some Temptations.
Yeah, it was like Barry Gordy was like, just do what you do with it. So he just redid the whole song.
Oh, he made a
Like,
classic.
come over
He
here and
made a
sing.
classic, man. He made a
Classic.
fucking classic.
Yeah, he did.
He's in the Black House. You gonna hear that?
Oh,
That
for
don't
sure.
Yeah, you gonna hear that.
That's my
Yeah,
mama
it don't
joint.
matter who you gonna who house
Yeah,
it.
that's
You
my
gonna
mama
hear
joint.
that.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
That used to be, man. I think every black kid, man, at least 2 or 3 saying fucking Santa Claus is
Man, for
coming to
sure.
town in a church pig or school.
Somewhere, man,
That
in the living
made that
room,
song.
somewhere.
That song was corny before that.
Yeah.
We didn't sing Santa Claus.
At
Nah,
all. No.
Dude, how
he put the soul in.
fucking with that.
He put the soul in it, man.
Rooter
Yeah.
toot toot and rat tat
Yeah, he
tat.
put that soul in there, man.
Oh
Yeah.
man, whoo.
Maybe you have some dope ass stories about Michael Jackson in the years,
I
man.
know he
See,
do,
man,
man.
it
He
gotta-
was there like when he was a kid, so he know the shit.
Have you done an interview with him?
Yeah, nah, he does it. Like we've had talks, but he just like when it comes to music, he's just so past it. You know what I mean? And I want to do one, and we keep saying we're gonna do one. But I will tell you one little story about like when we were talking about Michael one time, and he was talking about how like Michael, how hard they worked Michael. Well, he had but it was someone from the state that because of child labor laws, he could only record basically 3 hours a day after school.
Yeah.
So he come out of school, go right to the studio. But right when the time was over with, cut the recording, next song. But the Jacksons would be in the studio 5-6 days a week.
Damn.
I mean, so they really didn't get a childhood. And he was like, Michael was one of those type who he was serious about his music. But when he wasn't doing the music, he would just kind of be off in the corner by himself because the only time he ever got to be by himself would be when his brothers were doing their parts.
Damn.
You know what I mean? When they're doing their vocal parts, he may get a few minutes to himself over here, but Michael always just had people coming at him from when he was the youngest. But he like on one hand he was a kid, on the other hand he was a man when it came to the music.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
He was like 12.
Yeah.
Like Michael Jackson's a special one right there.
Nah, man, he was blessed, man. You know, he was
Yeah.
blessed. He was at the end of it all, man, because it's like this shit, man. I don't attack some good music. Others, I mean, what the fuck are y'all listening to? What the fuck is this shit, man? Do my ears deceive me, or maybe I'm tripping? Because the shit that man, come on, man. You know what I mean? One thing I can't get into, I know motherfuckers are gonna be mad and like, man, you an old man and everything. And I can't get into drill music.
Oh yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you right there, man.
I can't do it.
I'm with
man.
you.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one too.
And I don't like the way cause really the way it's turning out. I mean, these cats is really following through.
True.
The first time I ever heard it, I actually got 2 albums. And shit, man. And my dude from Houston turned me on. He gave me a Chief Keef album, and he gave me a Kendrick Lamar. And I was like, I'm tripping because I actually knew Kendrick before he blew up. And then, I told the story, man. Me and my relative, we used to be laughing at him because his style. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I got a story after you finish about when I first heard him too, though.
Man.
When I was in the joint.
Heard him, put it on, and he's telling this story. I was like, man. And I must have listened to that album. I'm driving. I'm in Houston, so I'm driving. I think I was either going to New Orleans so I got a chance to listen to the whole album. I listened to Chief. And I got about the second song, I'm going through Chief, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, yeah. But that Kendrick, that shit pulled me in. It took me back, especially when he just, okay, nigga, where your mama stay at? Where your daddy? Just getting, it just took me back like, whoa, good kid, man, Man City, like, man. Like, nigga, motherfucker don't wake up, man. Motherfucker ain't thinking, when you in school, they ain't thinking about no gangbangers. What? Gangbang, drugs, what?
Yeah.
Nah, man, I'm gonna be, man, yeah, I'm gonna be a lawyer, doctor, I'm gonna be all that, and then it's real. It ended up being real. And it's like, whoa, is it really me or was it the environment?
He good. He's like real good at like, conveying what he didn't absorb, you know what I mean, through his environment, you know what I mean, growing up over there and just conveying it like in a way, you know what I mean, giving it to the people in a way like you can, like everybody could feel it, you know what I mean. This last, the last joint in the drop, man, it's a lot of, I done seen some few reviews on there that wasn't too favorable, but to me, I think this like one of his best bodies of work. Man, it's just connecting with, like, he just connecting with humanity, you know what I mean?
Man, speak on it, bruh.
You know what I mean? So that's, people be looking at it from, man, can I play this in the car? Can I, it's just a superficial way that the majority of the world looks at it.
You know what it is, man? Yeah. He took us back to soul music.
Come on.
So this is soul music interpreted through hip hop.
Come on.
Just like James Brown's soul music interpreted through funk. Just like B.B. King was soul music interpreted through the blues.
Right.
He's Aretha Franklin.
True.
That's this last album.
He in that class for sure.
He's in that class. He's in Stevie Wonder's class.
Definitely.
Because I did an album review on it last week on my own Incense and Ashtrays. And I was breaking it down from a spiritual point of view and also from a contextual point of view. He's telling you his humanity in life and the things that he struggled with.
True.
And he's telling black men, hey man, we've been through a lot of fucked up shit. Get some mental help. He said, read Eckhart Tolle. I'm more of a Dr. Delbert Blair kind of guy, but Eckhart Tolle wrote books on the power of now and how to be present and how to get past your shit. Right. He's not even telling you what to do. He's telling you where to go to get it done.
He giving you the healing, man. He giving you the problem and he giving you the solution.
He had the argument with him and his girl. That's on them arguing.
Come on, that's real.
But he said no. Instead of talking around the shit, get to the shit.
Yeah.
He giving us the keys.
Right.
And it's like, when I listen to this album, and also, he always, if you're from LA, he always throw little things there to please you. Like on Good Cat, Mad City, he's talking about getting all the pretty girls at Westchester. And then, you know what I mean? That part.
Throw that in. He had to throw that in.
And on this album, and what did he say on this album? When he was playing, the first time he fucked the white bitch
was at Palisades.
Pally.
Yeah.
Because he's from LA. Yeah. When you played a football game, a road game at Pally, them white girls was choosing.
Right there, bro. You already know. That's
so you from LA. If you ain't from there, you thinking,
man, you going to Westchester to get all the, you go from, well, I went to Inglewood High, so you going from Inglewood High to Westchester, that's where, or you waiting on that 115 bus to come. You know what I mean? So that's true. You going further.
You played a road game against Pally, them white girls will be out there.
Come on, it's on. We out there.
We play against Pally once a year. You see the white girl, they wait. Oh, here come the nigger schools.
Hey, I'm gonna be real with you. Hey, my uncles, my brothers, all my little relatives and shit like that. All them niggas went to Palisades.
Yeah,
we the only one I'm the only one went to Morningside.
My brother and my sister went there because the bus stop was right across the street.
Man, my relative, man, Sean Banks, man, played ball up there and everything.
Yeah, that was in the 90s, wasn't it? Like 93?
Yeah.
My brother was there then.
Okay, yeah. Man, that's what I'm saying.
Ahmad went there.
Come on, man.
The rapper, what's his name from Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, you talking about Will.i.am?
Will.i.am went there too? Yeah.
You know, man, else went there? One of Berry Gordy kids.
Yep.
And shit. I told my brother, I'm like, my brother fuck around, got in a fight with him and beat him up. I'm like, man, you gotta be the stupidest motherfucker in the world. Our life could have been great. Out of all the people we could have beat up, man, you beat this nigga up.
He beat up Berry Gordy kid. Come on, man.
I promise you, man. I can't make this shit up, man. My brother, man.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to the fucking years of fucking karate he took.
You whooped his ass then, for sure.
Man, listen. I love him. He probably gonna curse me out when he see this. Look, see, got jumped or whatever, and they broke his arm. And I ain't shit.
Yeah.
I'm over there like, man, all that money they spent, nigga. You come back with your arm broke, nigga. You sucker. He got jumped out like
it didn't work. Oh, they nigga broke his arm in the fight. I thought he whooped him. He didn't.
No, he whooped. He broke
his arm
or whatever.
Yeah.
But I was making fun of him because when you win, back in the day, nigga, all the karate, nigga, you thinking it's just a nigga you thinking of Bruce Lee whooping the
Bruce Lee.
Man, that nigga came back with nigga, your arm broke, nigga, you sucker, you must have, man, all that, man, we did our money back, nigga, shit. I couldn't get no J's because you wanted to do karate. You lose. Nah, man, shouts out to my little brother, man, working for LAUSD, man. He been working for them as a teacher, man, and
salute to him, man.
Shit, man, as a what do you call them, man? You know what I'm saying? Yard leaders or whatever, man, after school programs and for years.
Yeah, the ones in the trenches right there.
Yeah, he in the trench. I know you see a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to. It's crazy too. Man, the motherfucker got a house out in up north and shit. One of them nice ass fucking beach communities.
Yeah,
and then they got one over there off of Washington and shit. And I'm like, man, why come to Seattle, man, rent out the. Nah, bro. I'm over here. I gotta stay in the hood, man. Make sure the kids is good. So I'll be like, man, for sure, man. There. So he keep his ass out there and man. You know what I'm saying? Over there off of Washington, man. And so it's bro and moms and shit, man. So but the cold part is, my family been over there since they left South Carolina. They been on that street. We had 2-3 houses on that one fucking street, a apartment building and everything. And then my grandfather sold it right before the housing market crashed.
Ooh, okay.
Got it for top dollar and shit. But he a Mason, man. He a 33 and 1/3, man, a Shriner and everything.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother episode. Some of the game he gave. Yeah. He told me, man, he ain't told me where, you know what I mean, very secretive, but some of the shit, the little jewels that he has dropped to me, man, life changing.
Mason ain't no joke.
Man, he's 33 and 1/3, went up, man, went through a Prince Hall and went on the Scottish Rite.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And been a Shriner for years. Yeah, he's like all bullshit to the left. There's been some times where, you feel me, they're like, hey, who your grandfather? Like, who your last name? You ain't be related to, man. I ain't gonna say his first name and stuff. And be like, yeah, that's my grandfather. Hey, man, I'm talking about straighten up and, your grandfather, he's real, if you can talk to him about what? Like, that nigga don't talk. You don't talk to me about nothing, man. Nah, just, word that you know me. And